Hey Moon Magic Super Souls, welcome to today's readings. We are actually asking your spirit team about a message to do with something that you're worried about. It came through so strongly today. There's so much worry and concern and upheaval and uncertainty, and in my preparations for my readings today, this came through so strongly. Your spirit team have a message about something that you are worried about. Now we're going to draw 3 cards together. I'm actually seeing the 3 cards, funnily enough. This is card 1. This is the second here. And the third is right back. It's this one right back here. Okay. Now I was also quite strongly drawn to various animal packs as well today. It sort of feels like our animal nation are wanting to assist, to come through, maybe spirit animals, totem animals. I always think when we are worried, you know, sometimes our instincts go a little bit astray because the worry gets in the way and we're looking through that lens. And of course animals are really sharp in that way. Their instincts are really second to none, and maybe that's why the cards, we'll be using various animal cards today amongst others. So beautiful souls, let's draw these cards, let's turn them over, and then I will draw a rune and a charm as well. So pile 1, you have the Hound and Pear. It also says loyalty. Okay. Pile 2, you have the Coyote and Datura. This is also a card of deceit. Okay. Pile 3, you have the Antelope and Wheat, and this is also a card of nourishment. Okay, so let's draw a rune and a charm for each of these, for those of you that like that little bit more information. Gosh, I've rushed straight into this. Super souls, forgive me. Welcome everyone. Welcome to those of you who are already a part of this beautiful community we're building here. And welcome to anyone new to the Moon Magic Tarot channel. Well, the Moon Magic Weekly Tarot channel to be exact. I do post readings several times a week. But anyway, my apologies, I went straight in. But I think there's such a strong energy around worry and concern. Really, I tuned into it so strongly in, you know, really asking what the readings should be about today. So 3 runes we have, pile 1, pile 2 and pile 3. So for pile 1 you have the rune of protection. Pile 2 you have the rune of joy. Pile 3 you have the rune of initiation. Let me draw a charm for each. So pile 1. Oh, this is beautiful. Look at this. Can you see this beautiful flower? And it's a 5-petaled flower. Okay. Pile 2 we have, oh, it's the Tree of Life. Wow. Okay, so that's pile 2. And pile 3. Oh, you've got 2 actually. 2 have come out for you. So you have a stunning, amazing bat. You see that? Wow. And also a beautiful dog. So you have a dog and a bat for pile 3. Okay. So my beautiful souls, trust your intuition. Listen to what the cards are feeling like for you, and if more than one is speaking to you, trust it. Especially with so much going on and so much upheaval and uncertainty, there may be more than one message coming through for you about different areas of your life, of your world. Beautiful souls, I'm going to leave the camera running for just a few moments longer, just so that you have really time to sit with these a little bit longer if you wish to. You can always press the pause button, but it tends to bring up a bar across the bottom, so I usually leave the camera running a little bit. The timestamps are in the description box, and I'm going to put them into a pinned comment as well, just for phone users, just because it makes it a little bit easier to access. Beautiful souls, I will see you in the readings in just a moment. Hey, pile one, welcome to your reading, beautiful souls. I'm very conscious of this kind of shaft of light coming through here into your reading. Very distinct just here, look, coming across your card. You have the 5-petaled flower, the Hound and Pair, loyalty and protection. Now, the story with this card actually is to do with a hound that was particularly loyal, but the loyalty wasn't always seen. Now, I don't think I'm going to say too much more just yet, but there's an essence of protection around you, basically. It's like your spirit team may not be fully present to how protective they are of you at the moment, but you are being protected. I think that really is the message. Yes, this shaft of light coming through. I feel there is a far greater amount of protection around you than you are able to see because of this sense of worry or concern around you, almost as if you are slightly being cushioned. But let's draw more cards and see what else we're shown. So more animal guides, please, for my beautiful pile one. Oh, look at this, unicorn. You are the sovereign of the seen and unseen worlds. The magic of love surrounds you. Beauty transforms you. Listen to the spirits of light. Abandon the darkness. Go beyond the ordinary and become the legendary. And we have butterflies of transformation. I'm very struck by the 5-petaled flower being rather like the Venus star points, the 5-pointed star. And look at the way this unicorn is protecting, so protective of this one, as if you are sheltered. You're being sheltered in some way, shape or form. Not sure what you're being sheltered from. I feel what I'm hearing is sheltered from the storm. Now, I'm not sure what that's about. Let's draw more cards for you. We're going to use, oh wow, just as I picked up this pack, big sort of surge of energy coming through. Let's draw one of these two. We have the Lovers. Now the Lovers in a traditional tarot pack is about choices. Again, looking at this, I feel you are being far more protected, again, nurtured than you realise. I also want to say you're stronger than you realise. That's coming through with real strength. You are much stronger than you realise. I feel as though you've maybe been quite worn down by something, perhaps by uncertainty, by choices, decisions, and yet somehow I feel with this card of the Lovers, this little, it almost looks like a pathway leading to a teensy weensy little stone entrance. It looks like the entrance to a barrow for little people, tiny people. But it also looks like a snake of transformation. Yeah, I feel, my beautiful souls, that I think there's been a lot of indecision, indecisiveness, not sure which way to go. There's quite a sense of helplessness around you, and yet you are stronger than you realise. This is coming through very strongly here. I feel I want to draw from the Wild Kyan Oracle. I love this pack. It's one of my faves. Anyone following my readings will know I use this a lot. The little one rises. Look at you looking behind you. You are actually rising. I think you don't feel like you are. I think you've been feeling, I just want to say entangled. That's what it feels like. A lot of entanglement around you. Now, there is actually a higher purpose. There's something else going on, and we'll draw cards around this. The most important message to come through is that you are being protected and you are being guided. You are stronger than you realise. There's a lot of support around you from your spirit team. I think something has to sort of work its way through here, but it's not been an easy journey. This entrance to this teensy weensy long barrow, but it's going into the underworld. You see in the sort of almost in the roots of the tree, there are lots of little faces here and this beautiful pack. I feel like you've actually had to sort of almost journey into the underworld a bit in order to come through and out the other side. Now you are rising, but I think because you're feeling a bit depleted, a little bit divided about some of the choices you've got, really uncertain. Divided feels like the right way. I'm seeing with this pear shape, it's been cut in half. And I think your loyalties have been pulled in more than one direction. For some of you, it's like, do you take care of you versus do you look after someone else? Or will somebody else be able to really look after you? There's something around care, nurture, protection around you. What your spirit team are saying undoubtedly is that this is progressing. This situation is progressing. You may not feel like it, but it is. I'm going to draw from the Guardian Night Tarot, which again has a lot of animal figures in it, which is what I'm feeling I want to tune in with here. It's that lovely instinctual energy of our beautiful animal brothers and sisters. May we have information for pile 1. Okay. Yes. 7 of Swords. There are choices to make, and that we have this sort of, I want to just say big cat energy, because although we have the Black Panther here, we have tigers here in the background. Yeah, very strong energy of you've had to face something, or you're having to face some aspect of yourself, actually. This is what's actually going on. You've had to do some deep diving. That saying from the Book of Runes, the Ralph Blum Book of Runes, when in deep water, become a diver. I think you've almost sort of felt like you've been forced to do some deep diving. It's caused you to really evaluate, to really look at your choices. But you've looked at them, and you've had to look at them through doing some significant deep diving, really into the shadow aspects of the world, of your life, of the people around you, of your relationships. There really has been a lot of evaluation going on. We then have the Knight of Swords. Difficult decisions is what I'm seeing here. Difficult decisions, and the 5 of Cups. I think some of you are also in the face of having to make some decisions in the face of some disappointments. Something didn't perhaps live up to your expectations, or something didn't quite deliver as you'd hoped. Now, I'm feeling very strongly, and your spirit team are giving a clear message here, that there is something better coming. You are, the little one rises, you are going to move on and above. You sort of had to see this, actually, this disappointment, because I think you might have lingered or not really made accurate choices with the Knight of Swords here. You're having to make some quite tough decisions here. You really are, and I can see that this is, you have been sort of almost like torn in half about things, really. You know, indecision. And again, loyalty. I think you have a loyalty to, or you've had a loyalty, or either you've had a loyalty to a circumstance, a situation, a person, maybe an organisation, whatever it may be. You've had a sort of a loyalty to them, and I think you rather hoped that that loyalty would be delivered back, but I don't think it's quite come back in its fullest, really. I don't think it's quite been mirrored or reciprocated. the story with the hound and pear, this hound, which I think was called either Guinevere or Galahad, it had a name like that, like an Old English type, Arthurian type of name. But this hound in the story protected a child and killed a snake, which was going to, or a viper or something that was going to hurt the child. And then the owner of the parent of the child and the owner of the dog came in and saw the child covered in blood and thought that the dog caused the child harm, and so killed the dog actually, and then realized when he found the viper that he'd made a mistake and that the dog had actually been the protector and the guardian. And I sort of feel like, it's a bit of a gory story, but I sort of feel like there's something of your loyalty that you've committed to, you've offered, you've given, you've dedicated to, and it hasn't actually been reciprocated. And I think there's actually a lot of disappointment here. The reality is, my beautiful souls, that when we experience disappointment, it gives us an opportunity to put the brakes on and to have a look at what's really going on and evaluate in much more detail. Now, I have written about this in my book, Mindfulness Meets Emotional Awareness. Now, I don't do these readings to kind of plug my books on things, but I do have an online library. That's my area, where I've come from. You know, psychotherapy, counselling is where I've come from, and so I do kind of voice things if it comes into the reading. Disappointment is an emotion that can really derail us, and if you get too many disappointments, it can honestly lead you down a pathway of despair, and you can get lower and lower. But disappointment in its higher vibration, in its highest helpful energy, is actually calling us to stop and evaluate and have a good look at the choices we have. I think for some of you I don't think the situation you're in is clear cut, and I think there's possibly some choices to be made that require a detailed perspective. Yes, you've experienced some disappointment, but I feel like there's some choices within choices, which is what I'm seeing within the Seven of Swords here as well. Choices within choices. Take a really good look at all the different opportunities, the different angles, the way that you can see this. It's not as hard and fast as you think, and you actually needed the disappointment, because I think you would have remained loyal to something that maybe was never really going to give you back the same degree of loyalty. That's what's coming through here, my beautiful pile one. And I'm sorry, because it is disappointing when that happens. It truly, truly is. Let's draw some tarot cards for you. I mean, these are tarot cards, but let's draw from another pack. Maybe have more information, just maybe more guidance. Ah, lovely. So we have the Queen of Wands. So, look, this is great. This is really great. Right, I am now feeling thrilled. I was really thinking, gosh, this feels like you've really struggled with this. Now, I can see with the little one rises that you are rising. The Queen of Wands, actually, this is a really clear indication. Take charge of the choices that you have. Rather than dwelling in the disappointment, dwell in the insight that the disappointment is giving you. There's a difference, okay? I will, by the way, put a link in the description box to my free online library, which has tons of stuff to do with emotions and psychology and stuff in there, and it's a completely free resource. It always will be. It really is there just as to help, to assist. And there are even meditations, and a series of emotional meditations, and one of them is about disappointment, helping you to release and understand disappointment through a meditation to use that energy to your advantage. So do check that out, and I'll put that book in there as well. The Knight of Pentacles, I am seeing you moving forwards very solidly, making very clear, practical, pragmatic choices, and holding firm to a new direction. Yes, it has been disappointing, but your spirit team are really saying, pile one, firstly, that they are looking after you. They have a loyalty to you. You are far more nurtured and protected than you realise. They really are walking alongside you. And what they're saying with the biggest sort of spiritual hug in the world is, look, if this disappointment hadn't occurred, you would continue on the same course. And then all that's going to happen is you're going to face the same problem again and again. We see these beautiful big cats facing themselves like a mirror with these two swords hanging down. Interestingly, they look like almost like the fangs of a viper, with these trees around them, like a jungle, not seeing the woods for the trees. I think this disappointment, for some of you, it's a disappointment that has returned again. You've had a disappointment, you've knuckled down, you've settled in, you've overridden how you were feeling, remained loyal, but the disappointment has occurred again. It's about giving you a real perspective on what's really going on. And your spirit team are saying, look, okay, this is tough. But you can't make clear choices that are absolutely right for you. You can't navigate forwards in a practical, pragmatic way without awareness of this, because otherwise you'll just stay the same and it will just continue to kind of wear you down. I feel like you've been a bit bruised and battered. Bruised was a word that is used in the description of this card. The beautiful hound who was misjudged or wasn't really rewarded for his loyalty. And pears, that's where I think the bruising came from. Pears bruise easily. They are delicious. They are sweet. You are a sweet, sweet soul, and you bruise easily. And I think you've been rather bruised by these disappointments. Your spirit team are saying it's time to take charge. You have choices available to you. Take hold of them, make clear, pragmatic choices. Walk forwards with confidence, walk tall. Take an ownership of what you can do rather than dwelling in what you can't, which is that we have no say over other people. And look ahead and consider your options. Even these unicorns, can you see they are looking ahead? I am actually going to draw just a few more cards, really just to see how the energy around you progresses. But with the little one rises, I do feel we are shown that sort of empowerment starts with small steps. I feel like you've caught a glimpse of something else looking ahead here. You have caught sight of a potential different opportunity for you, and it may feel at this point that you're quite tired, or it's not quite the route that you thought you were going to take, but there is a potential in front of you. It's quite interesting the way the colours change to being sort of quite blue and the unicorn and the colouring here with like a little eagle here in the sky, bird of prey. This is what I'm seeing, flying high. There are opportunities ahead of you that can assist you in moving forwards. Small steps, and whatever you have seen as a possibility, invest in it step by step. Let's draw just a few more tarot cards to ask for a little bit more information for you, my beautiful pile one. May we have more information for my lovely pile one. Yes, the High Priestess. You are being guided and inspiration will come. Eight of Swords. Yeah, this is you tangling yourself in worry and concern. And I'm seeing this card for you too. The Nine of Wands. What they seem to be saying, I feel, your spirit team, is look, inspiration will come to you. The key here is to not be excessively worrying. You can do this, actually. Yes, it feels like there's a hurdle to be climbed to get to move forwards. But you know what? It's not as big as you think. It's only just by her knees here, this fence here. Stand tall, hold the light of potential, recognize that emotionally what you've been going through is actually an awakening. It's bringing you good information. Might feel shit, excuse my language, but it is actually bringing you good information. If you review that information, if you look back and review it rather than being tangled in it, Review what you've been shown, because that's what disappointment is about. It's like putting on the brakes, stepping down, standing still, and having a really good look at the details of what's going on, so that you can then work out with clarity how best you yourself can then move forwards. I don't think the move forwards is going to be as difficult as you think it is. The key here is to step away from that worry. You are being nurtured, you are being protected. Isn't it funny, I'm like itching to draw another card for you again. I know what I'm going to do. Runes, my beautiful souls. We'll draw a couple more runes. Your first is Hagalaz, yes. Okay. And your second is Wholeness. Super, loving it. Right, okay. Now, Hagalaz is the rune of disruption. It's associated with Uranus, the Great Awakener. This rune actually sometimes suggests that basically life gets shaken up a bit, but it can suggest that sometimes something comes along to shake you up because it needs to change. It can also sometimes indicate that you sort of suddenly come to your senses and realize that you've been tolerating something that wasn't really tolerable, and it creates the need to break free from that. So I'm seeing that move forwards for you. This is happening with purpose, and it's a really good purpose. It's a higher purpose with Suelo, the rune of wholeness. There is actually only one pathway to take, or one way forwards, and it is about moving forwards. You will not find the choices as difficult to navigate as you currently think. And I think there's more than one way in which you can navigate this. It's simply a question of removing the blindfold, the lens of disappointment that's making you feel so let down and bruised, and shifting yourself to a perspective of being grateful for the awareness that you have, which means you can make clear, conscious choices one step at a time, sowing seeds and moving towards the future. My beautiful pile one, there's definitely something ahead of you that you've already seen. You've already caught sight of it. You may not quite know how you're going to get there, but the direction has actually, I think, already been shown to you. You just haven't quite worked out sort of quite how to move in that way. But your spirit team are saying, you know, we are supporting you, we are guiding you. You are far more protected and nurtured in this transition, and in climbing out of the position you're in and onto that pathway of wholeness, the path you must follow. It's not going to, you're far more protected than you realise. Oh, pile one, I feel like I want to breathe again for you almost. My lovely pile ones, thank you so much for joining me. If this is resonating with you, do like, share, subscribe. It really does help to support the channel. Thank you all of you who come back and return to my readings. I'm really honoured to read for you. It's such a privilege, and thank you for your comments and the feedback, and all of you who give back as well through the super thanks in the comments. Beautiful souls, it's an honour to read for you. Anyone new here, welcome to our beautiful community. And if you'd like to subscribe and press the little bell icon as well, you should then get all of my readings as soon as I post them. I post 2 or 3 readings a week, these pick a card readings. I post shorts in between, a moon month update, all kinds of stuff. And I also do all zodiac sign readings that are in alignment with moon cycles rather than calendar months, and they are on Patreon, which is a very different platform. It works on the basis of donations. You can give as little or as much as you like. There are no tie-ins whatsoever. So if you do want to come and check us out over there, you are very welcome. And I do tutorials over there as well, all sorts of stuff. My beautiful pile one, I am actually sending you the biggest virtual hug ever. This is going to move forwards, and your team are really truly giving you the biggest. I feel like they're wrapping a blanket around you. So pile one, tons and tons and tons of love to you. Hey pile 2, welcome to your reading. This is a really interesting combination of card, rune, charm, and I'm unbelievably intrigued by it, if I'm truly honest, because the rune of joy, I mean, it's a fruit-bearing rune, it's amazing, it's carried across the gap by the wings of heaven, it's a new dawn, it's a new beginning, it's just fab. the tree of life. This is something that is, gosh, in for the long term, in for the long haul, something that can grow, something significant. And yet, the Coyote and Datura, the card also of deceit, is very, very interesting, because this card tends to speak of sort of being beware, or, you know, being beware. Interesting, isn't it? Like being wary. I suppose that's, I'm thinking being beware. Beware is no such word, but it's like a combination of being aware, isn't it? Be aware of. I think that's actually coming through. Be aware of something. That's what I'm seeing here. Because as a card, it tends to have a slightly negative connotation about deceit, or something not being quite what it should be, or someone pulling the wool over your eyes. Coyote energy is sometimes about the kind of trickster energy. Datura is considered to be poisonous, but of course it is also a hallucinogenic plant that was used for journeying, for seeing between the worlds. I feel like there is something you need to see differently. That's what I feel. Be aware of. Something you need to be aware of. Okay. I wonder, and it feels significant because of the tree of life here. Something you need to be aware of or conscious of. Now we're asking about your spirit team for a message about something you are worried about. So let's dive into more cards. Let's draw a ton of cards for my beautiful, beautiful pile 2. Okay, so there is your spirit animal guide. So squirrel, always prepared. How interesting as an energy coming through. You are the expert of hard work and hard play. Your cheerful and fun disposition is a blessing to everyone. Don't let life's distractions take you off course. Make a plan for the future and life will give you all you need. Ah, okay. And let us draw another card. What else do we have for my beautiful pile 2s? Freedom. Wow. Oh my goodness me. This is very, very interesting. I'm really picking up on that energy of the rune of joy here now. And these white horses. There's liberation around you. There's something you're doing or something you're involved in. You're worried about it. Maybe you're worried it won't come to fruition. Yes. What else do we have? That's your card. Hold on to me. Okay. Right. Right, she says. I feel like I've just said it in the tone of voice that's like, we mean business. And it does feel a bit like that. In a very joyful, light-hearted, coyote trickstery way, coyote energy makes us laugh at ourselves. You know, coyote in Native American medicine wheel terms is the energy of the south entrance. And yeah, it's a trickster energy. People can play tricks on us. We can play tricks on ourselves. But I want to say, see through the illusion. Don't get yourself tangled in worry about something. Don't let stuff get in the way or remove your focus. If something doesn't run smoothly, sit back and laugh about it. Coyote energy reminds us to laugh at life, to laugh at humanity, to laugh at ourselves, to laugh at the hiccups, to laugh when things don't run smoothly. Make a plan for the future and life will give you all you need. What I would say is, sometimes we get what we need, but not always what we want, okay? But you're being moved forwards pretty quickly. Whatever you're worried about, my beautiful pile 2, it's going to emerge and evolve, and I think it's going to happen at quite a fast pace. I do feel, I almost want to say, fasten your seatbelts. You wanted something to change. This is what your spirit team are saying. Look, you wanted this. We're going to give it to you, and it's happening fast. So fasten your seatbelts. It's happening. Stop worrying about it. It's one of those things, isn't it, where we ask for something and we pray for something and we put our requests into the universe and we make our new, or at least I do, make my new moon wishes and set my new moon intentions along with my wishes. I do them both, very different energy. And then I open myself to receive, but it feels like, super souls, you've opened yourself to receive and now it's coming. And it's like, whoa, fasten your seatbelt because this is going to happen. And it's happening fast. Do what you do with joy. Love it for the journey. Don't be fearful of the speed at which something is emerging or the speed at which something requires your attention. I've never, ever, ever seen squirrels ever look as if they're worried. They're busy. They're constantly busy. I don't know if you've ever sat amongst squirrels. I have done so for quite a period of time at one point, sitting in one of my favourite trees and watching the spirit squirrels. And in fact, they literally came to my tree that I was sitting in, my dear friend, and joined us and looked at me, and literally it was ever so funny actually. This little squirrel came bounding up and then it saw me and its little paws went like this, straight, whoa, and it stared at me and it looked both ways, and then it was like, oh, I think you're all right, and he just jumped in and literally jumped into this was a tree which has branches, big trunks, more than one trunk coming out of the base, and I was sitting in the middle, and literally that's what the squirrel did, and then it kind of like jumped over me and climbed up the tree anyway. And I feel there's something in that story, you know, that magical moment where he went, oh, you know, what do I do now? And looked every which way and then just thought, oh, well, whatever, I'll move on, and carried on with his business, carried on with doing what he was doing. And there was a whole group of them. They were chattering, they were singing, they were chuntering, playing, but working all the time. Collecting nuts, burying them. I mean, it was a beautiful experience to observe. But I feel there's something of this here for you. Yes, there might be a few kind of moments. What do I do? Well, jump in and go for it. That's what your spirit team is saying. This is not a time, pile 2, to be holding back. This is a time to be moving forwards. You're doing something that is actually going to move you forwards. It's bringing you some kind of liberation or freedom. It could be liberation and freedom from a particular circumstance. It could be from lack and finances. We clearly need to draw more cards for you. Let's do that now. But you are on the route to being liberated from some circumstances that have actually limited your horizons. Make a plan for the future. Don't let distractions take you off course. Keep going, even if something comes in where you think, oh, because this has the potential for a big future. There's solidity, longevity, and the rune of joy. I mean, this is right for you. Whatever this is that you're approaching, you're doing, you're working at, it's right for you. Okay, so I'm seeing this. I'm not seeing that one actually. This one and this one. Okay. How interesting. Knight of Swords came out. Oh, this is so interesting. Knight of Swords came out in the previous reading. But yes, you're being asked to be really very, very decisive. What I feel with the Knight of Swords energy is that sometimes this card can indicate that something happens in your external circumstances that causes you to have to then respond. So if there are interruptions, don't be fazed by them. Just respond and then get back on course. Like me interrupting the squirrel. You know, there I was. He or she, it could have been a she, I have no idea. I don't quite know how to identify a squirrel from, I say it was very close distance, but not close enough to take a look. But I don't know whether it was a he or a she. But I interrupted what he or she was expecting. And then there was a momentary pause and a sort of, oh, well, I'll just carry on anyway. 4 of Cups, we have the armadillo here. Armadillos are very, very interesting, actually, because I think they connect very strongly to our ability to set intentions. Okay. If you think about an armadillo, it can roll up into a ball and be impenetrable. Okay, so it can be quite defensive. And the reason I say it connects to setting intentions, because there's actually an exercise that I have done on more than one occasion actually, where I've drawn like a circle of intent. And there's an inner circle, which is everything that I am prepared to and want in my inner circle. And then an outer circle is sort of what I would call by negotiation. And it's an exercise that I learned through reading about armadillo medicine. They can roll up in a ball. They decide very firmly what they will or won't do, what they will or won't tolerate. You then have the Emperor card, which is about really that father energy, taking charge, seeing the bigger picture, taking charge of what you need to do in order to move things forwards. You do have some sort of a vision. You're working at something. Don't let distractions get in the way. This is a time to step up, not down, and that's absolutely clear. Things are going to move forwards very fast. It does feel like you put your order into the universe and it's like, or you may have put several orders in and they've all come in at once and you're like, what do I do now? I've got to juggle all these things. Just make a plan, hold your course, be consistent, make a plan, and don't let life's distractions cause you a problem. If there is a distraction, trust that it's bringing you something, some piece of information that you need to know about in order to plan more thoughtfully, more diligently. Let's draw from another tarot pack for you, my beautiful pile 2. I'm excited for you. It feels like things are taking off, but I also have this feeling in my body, but there's a sort of an edge there. You're worried about it. I think you're actually worried about whether or not you can actually deliver, whether you've taken on, you know, when you feel like you've, what's that saying? Bitten off more than you can chew. That's the saying. It's a lot. There's a lot of work to do in this, and I think you know it. I think we will sit with those for the moment and see what else we're shown in a sec. Yes, look at that. You've got the Emperor and the Empress. How beautiful is that? And I mean, look at your cards. Just look at your cards. The Queen of Cups and the Magician. I mean, this is 100% active manifestation here. To get the Emperor and the Empress is really a validation of this energy of the Tree of Life. You have something worthy of bringing forth and making happen. You know, don't be distracted. If you're finding yourself with the pace of life getting very fast and you're really thinking, I'm not quite sure I can handle this, rather than rushing at it and trying to make it happen, get still and meditate. This is a Queen of Cups who centers herself, and because her energy is so centered, life just gives her what she needs when she needs it. The right things arrive at the right time. But if we're too frantic, look at the teeth on this. I think it is a salmon, but look, it's almost like it's gritting its, can you see that? I feel like it's gritting its teeth. You know, when things get really, really fast and happening, and then things don't always run to plan, it feels like, you know, sometimes we can get into that gritting our teeth and I've just got to get through it. Calm down, get still, meditate, and then come back afresh while staying on track. This is actually very clear. You have something really worthy of happening, and it is going to gather momentum, I think, very, very quickly. This is something you've wanted. It literally is. You've asked for something, it's arriving. So now what are you going to do? Well, you're going to go with it, or this is what's being suggested. Your spirit team are really saying, don't worry about this. Stop worrying about it. Worry will not assist you in any way, shape or form. Feel like I want to voice, you know, it's on one of my own cards, the Art of Manifestation cards, which I'm not actually using today, but there's a card in there that says, it's to do with intention, again, circle of intent. When we set an intention, it's a focused thought. When you say a prayer or make a wish, it's a focused thought. When you worry, it's also a focused thought. And according to the law of attraction, what we think is what we create. So what's the purpose in putting something into the world that you don't want? Hold the higher vision. Yeah, with this ram here, you're bringing something forth. It's going to be your crowning glory. You have every ability to bring this forth and make it happen. Try not to wobble, try not to worry. It really, try to laugh. If things go wrong, laugh about it. Just have a good old laugh. See through the illusion. Look at it differently with Datura. Yes, it's a card that says deceit. But that's more, I think, to do with the lens of, gosh, this is really happening, I'm never going to be able to do it. Well, that's almost like looking through the can't do lens rather than the can do. And your spirit team is saying to you, you can do this. You absolutely can. Do it through joy, hard work, but love every minute. It will come together, truly. I am going to draw just a few more cards for you. My beautiful, beautiful pile 2. And we have 2 showing up for you straight away. Look at this. The Judgment and the Queen of Wands. How beautiful to have the Queen of Wands and the Queen of Cups, because I always feel the Queen of Wands, she's a master manifester, or a mistress manifester, however you want to look at it. It's non-gender specific, but she can do it. She celebrates herself. She's big, she's bold, she's fiery. It's like, do you know what? I do it for the love of it, and it all just comes right back at me. That's what it feels like. The Judgment, what I'm seeing here for you is stop criticizing yourself. Stop getting nitpicky. Work at this. But also, there's something for me coming through with this card about being good enough, taking the good enough approach. You can always tweak details later. But right now, as things are moving fast, be good enough. Don't give yourself a hard time. Release yourself from that inner critic, the part of you that says, I can't, or it'll never happen for me, or I can't keep up with this. All of those things that we have inside, it's time to release those. Release any form of judgment of yourself or of the things that maybe show up and go wrong. I mean, depending on when you come to this reading, if you're looking at it as I've posted it, where there's some retrograde energy around. We're in the Mercury retrograde shadow as I'm doing this reading. Venus is in retrograde, and so, you know, stuff doesn't always run smoothly. But life is not meant to be approached really in a clear, hard and fast single straight line. That's not the way we should live. Indeed, our animal brothers and sisters, you'll never find them walking in a single straight line. If there's a straight line, it's because it's a genuine route that animal paths are making. Most of the time an animal path will wander. It will take them on the right journey at the right time. Some of them are straight through woodland, that kind of thing, but very rarely straight for very long. They kind of know. They just know the right pathway. Yes, beautiful souls, this will happen. Remove judgment. Yeah, keep your eyes on your targeted intention and be diligent. Whatever comes in, don't grit your teeth and bear it. Smile and laugh. You know, we have a choice, don't we, in everything. That is what your spirit team are saying. But you are moving towards liberation. I think part of what you're moving from as well, you know, is liberation from the inner critic. There's like an underlying layer of soul growth going on here to do with liberating yourself from having to be perfect and knowing that you can actually be good enough, and what you deliver, what you're creating, is going to be amazing, because it just is. My beautiful pile 2. I am thrilled. Keep me posted in the comments if this is resonating with you. Do like, share, subscribe, and thank you so much, all of you who follow my readings regularly and all who comment and give back through the super thanks in the comments. Truly, it really does all help to keep the channel going. I'm really, really thrilled to read for you. It's such a gift and an honour. It really is. If you're new to my beautiful YouTube community here, welcome, Super Souls. Do subscribe and press the little bell icon if you'd like to get notification of any of my readings, or just check out the homepage, the Moon Magic Weekly Tarot homepage. And I post pick a card readings 2 or 3 times a week. Usually I post some shorts in between, you know, a moon month update and my all zodiac sign readings. I actually do them to the moon month. I'm very keen on working and manifesting with the moon. So they are on a different platform. They are over on Patreon. If you want to check them out, Patreon doesn't have any advertisements. It works on the basis of donations. You can give as little or as much as you want, and you can opt out at any time. There are no tie-ins. I also do tutorials over there on learning to read the tarot cards and the runes. So if that is of interest to you, do check out that platform. I'll put the link in the description box and also in the comments for phone users. Beautiful pile 2. I'm actually loving your reading. Keep going. Fasten your seatbelt. You're in for a ride, but wow, you've asked for it and the universe is about to deliver. It may already be happening for you. So fast paced. Go, 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 beautiful souls. Love that squirrel energy. Press the pause button, take in a deep breath and go for it anyway. Oh, do you know what's coming through here? I have to just voice it. Feel the fear and do it anyway. That's what's coming through. Yes. My beautiful pile 2. Feel the fear and do it anyway. Love to you all. Hey, beautiful pile 3. Welcome to your reading. This is a fascinating energy around you. We're asking your spirit team about something you're worrying about. And, well, it's very, very interesting because the antelope and the wheat nourishment is a card that actually it's asking you to nourish not just yourself but those around you, to sort of almost share in your good fortune. That's interesting. I'm wondering if you are worried about lack in some way, some form of lack of finances or lack of resources. You're worried about how you're going to move forwards. And yet we have the bat of transformation, and then we have the dog loyalty. I feel like maybe there's some sharing to be done. The rune of initiation as well. Let's draw more cards for you before we jump into any major interpretations for you, my beautiful pile 3. May we ask, please? May we have a message from pile 3's spirit team? White stag protector. Look at that you actually have, oh my goodness me, you have both the antelope and the white stag. Lots of deer energy around you. So what I was about to say before I launched into that was we're asking your spirit team for messages about something you're worried about. I think you're almost worried about lack returning to you. Now this says you are an old soul. Your best friend is nature. Use your intuition to take you where you want to go. Awaken to the powerful force within you. You are meant to create blessings with your magic. I always feel with antelope energy, there's a sort of a knowing when to act about it. You know, when to move forwards with grace, when to ease off with grace. Quite big themes coming through of loyalty, conserving but not holding on to your wealth, your finances, being prepared to invest. I need more information. I definitely need more information for you, my beautiful pile 3s. May we have more information? What are pile 3 worrying about? Ground. And we have an oak tree. Gosh, look at the energy of these animals. We have the wild boars here, which are connected to courage. We have a wolf, we have a bear. And this oak tree. Let us draw more for you. I think that's your card, actually, my beautiful pile 3. What do we have? Let your world spin on its axis. Okay. Forgive my little chuckle, pile 3. Right, okay. Something is transforming, and I think you're really worried about whether you're going to have enough. It's almost like, can you dare let go? Can you let go of something? Do you have the courage? There's a badger here as well. Badgers are amazing creatures. They are the bears of the English countryside in many ways. A badger will fight. They're very tenacious. They'll fight to the death. but only if they're put in a position where they have to. Loyalty with the dog. I feel like there's something in you from history that's causing you to have trouble or to worry about taking a leap, to worry about letting go, to worry about launching into something wholeheartedly. And yet this card is saying, you know, just do a cartwheel, do it. There's a definite worry about you fearing a lack of security, fearing that there won't be enough. I actually think some of you have had a past life experience where you have undergone a really difficult passage, is the word that comes through with this rune of initiation. A passage. What I feel I'm being shown here, so I will just voice it. I'm seeing it in this card here. The white stag connects to, on a medicine wheel, the north point for me. It's associating me with winter time, the winter solstice. When, interestingly enough, the winter solstice is a turning point where we begin to see the light then emerging again. We've come out of the darkness and we can start to see our way forwards, a passageway. I feel like in a past life you underwent a really difficult passage, a journey where there was lack, literally a lack of food. This is very direct, but I will just voice it because I'm hearing it. Do you know, I'm literally feeling it in my belly. I feel like I could get stomach cramps. You know, I think you've known what it was to go hungry. Now, there could have been circumstances in your current lifetime where you have not known where the next mouthful was coming from. Some of you may well have experienced that in this lifetime too. But I think you've experienced it in a past life in a big way. You know, maybe there was a drought or a famine, or you were, I'm seeing a boat for many of you, shipped on a boat, a passageway. You know, maybe there could even have been slavery for some of you, or departing. I'm seeing like the famine, actually, the Irish famine is what's coming through for me, seeing that. I don't know if any of you have Irish ancestors in your DNA, but there's something of that coming through here. But you've undergone a passage where you literally didn't know how to feed, how to eat, where the next mouthful would come from. Again, now I'm seeing also lots of frozen times. Again, maybe exiting countries during war and turmoil, snow-covered lands, leaving during wartime, leaving perhaps, you know, fleeing a country in the snow. But you've known hunger. That it's, gosh, it's coming through so strongly, so strongly. I do have, if you go to the Moon Magic, the homepage for the Moon Magic Weekly Tarot channel, or check in on my Timeless Readings playlist, though there's a ton of videos in there. They are pick a card readings that answer specific questions. If you just check out the videos, you might have to scroll down quite a few, but there are several past life readings that I have actually done, pick a card readings. And I just feel there might be something there that might be helpful to you, my beautiful souls. I mean, all these readings here, they are a resource for you to tune into when that's needed and working for you. Right, you are, yes, you see again, look at this, you are an old soul. Here it is, it's past lives. Your best friend is nature. You've had to live. I think you've literally fled and had to live away from people potentially, and found resources in nature, but you have known what it is to go hungry. Sorry, I feel I'm repeating myself, but it's so strong. Use your intuition to take you where you want to go. Awaken to the powerful force within you. You are meant to create blessings with your magic. I think, let your world spin on its axis. There's an opportunity of, I think, of potential abundance around you with this oak tree here. It's having the courage to embrace it. Let's draw more cards for you. May we have more information for my beautiful pile threes, please. More information for pile 3. It's like it's in your genes. This is what I'm feeling. Very strong energy. Yes, 2 of Swords. Look at this frog. sitting in a space of indecision, being fearful of leaping, taking that leap. That's exactly what we're being shown. Nine of Swords, and what do we have? A polar bear. The Nine of Swords, it's that dark night of the soul, being a little bit afraid of something, and yet how protective. You see again, there's such a protective energy. I think you've had to protect resources. You've had to possibly even protect others. Literally, where does the next mouthful come from? Had children to support. And then we have the Five of Cups here with this incredible, kind of looks like a bee, but I think it is actually a moth, actually. Not a bee, but a moth. Yes, of transformation. It's time to turn something around here. I feel you're being asked to actually shift your focus onto yourself. It's like, be loyal to yourself, be true to yourself, as in yourself in this lifetime, your potential future, your potential opportunities, what you can bring forth. Not the stuff of the past. Having the courage to move forwards. Do you know, I'm just noticing here as well. Looking in this beautiful card, we have the badger, and there's also a beautiful little fox. And I almost didn't notice that fox. The fox almost merged into the background. He looks like a stone almost. And the stones are said, you know, the crystals that we use are said to carry memory. Again, you know, stones, often our crystals, are thousands, millions of years old. They've seen all of the transformation through the earth cycles. They've seen everything. They've been witness to everything. And this foxes are about adaptation. They're very clever, they're very able to adapt, and very fast. You know, we see urban foxes who are almost like a different species to the country foxes, or certainly here in the UK. It's been identified as two different species, and they have transformed very, very, very quickly to adapt to their new environment. I feel this fox looks like a rock, carrying that memory of all the transformations of everything that's ever happened historically. An observer, a witness to transformation. And now you are being asked to adapt, to transform and emerge into the new, to become the new. You are not to be held back by those fears anymore. You are living in a different world now. This is what we are being shown, whether this is your current life or indeed connected to past lives, or even the genetic lineage within you, literally in your DNA. Okay, yes. What do we have? The King of Wands, the lion, the courage, taking charge. And I love this card. Can you see he has a lizard on his chest? Lizard is about entering the dream time. He takes charge of his future. He takes charge of his direction. He takes charge of the future he wants to create, rather than being bound by the past. We have, yes, the Page of Wands. Yes! I'm wanting to go, yes, 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 pile 3. If I had one of those rattles, you know, the really rackety ones that people use at like games and things. I've never had one, I've never used one, but I see people using them on films where they twirl them round and round and round and make a lot of noise. That's the sort of like noise I want to make. Interesting, isn't it? Because noise, of course. Oh, so many messages coming through for you, pile 3. Noise is, of course, part of how we shift energy. You know, when we want to wake up, if you want to sit and talk to a crystal or a stone, you can heat it up to remind it of where it came from, the molten lava of the earth, but you can also wake it up by clapping or singing or using a shamanic rattle or a drum. We wake up the energy, we shift the energy, we open ourselves to the potential that sits in that dreamtime space. Yeah, there's loads of messages coming through for you about activating your own personal power now. Not worrying about it. You're being asked to really not worry. I'm going to take both these cards. What do we have for this one first? The Nine of Wands. Yes, you're being shown here that looking back is okay. There's nothing wrong with looking back, but looking back should be looking back in hindsight so we learn, not looking back so that we dwell in the past. This is about liberating yourself from those fears and those worries and those anxieties that can become self-perpetuating. What do we have? The Two of Cups. Yeah. Gorgeous. Collaboration as well. That is interesting. Let's ask for more information around this Two of Cups. That I wasn't expecting. What are you being shown here? And the Four of Wands, a card of celebration. And what else are we having? May we? Yes, that's your card. Lovely. Okay, so two different areas we're being asked to connect to here, two different areas of your worlds, which for some of you this will apply to both, and for some it will apply to one or the other, I think. Or, you know, the Nine of Pentacles is about lack. It's about abundance. It's about money. It's the opposite of lack. That sense of self-security, that knowing that you can do it, you can achieve it. You don't have to worry about where the next penny's coming from. Take the leap. For others, there's a connection to love and relationship. You may even have lost somebody with a dog of loyalty. This dog is looking back. Can you see that? Looking backwards. If you were on a journey, a passage, you could, even in this lifetime, have lost someone and it's left you, maybe you've come even out of a divorce or a separation that left you feeling as though you didn't have the resources, or indeed that you maybe couldn't trust people, or you're fearful, for some of you, of actually maybe you lost somebody in a past life and it's left you feeling that you can't take that risk. Whether you can't love again for fear of being broken again, or whether you can't love again because you're fearful of the lack that could come from it. For some of you, there's a connection to relationship. For others, it's purely about, you know, the stuff of abundance. But you are being asked here to take a risk in some way. Stop worrying about this. And the information that's coming through, interestingly enough, in abundance, is really saying to you, you've come from somewhere and it's as if you're still carrying that coat and you don't need to. Your spirit team is saying, don't worry about this. Stop looking through this lens. It is time to move forwards. Whether this is in your own ownership of your entitlement to financial abundance, to the stuff of life, or indeed to love, to connection, to, you know, being able to trust somebody, let them in without fear of losing them. If we lose somebody significant, we can be terrified of loving again. Especially if we lost them under difficult circumstances, we can be, gosh, you know, I can't let somebody else in because it could all go horribly wrong. Likewise, you know, I can't take a leap into the unknown and, you know, set forth on an epic adventure because of a new job or a new venture, because it might not work out and I might not have enough. Everything here is suggesting actually that you can. Take charge. It's not that we shouldn't be thoughtful or mindful, because we should. But, my beautiful pile 3, there is an opening around you in one or other area of your lives, or both. It's connected to some essence of lack or going without. And you've been too guided by the lens of the past. Yes, we should always be diligent and thoughtful and conserve our resources so that we can nourish both others as well as ourselves. But we shouldn't also be holding on to the purse strings of our lives so tightly that we never, ever, ever experience any form of adventure or joy either. And it's finding that middle ground here. Pile 3. If this is resonating with you, firstly, thank you so much for joining me. Whether you are following my readings consistently or whether you are brand new to our beautiful community here, thank you. It's such an honor to read for you. And Thank you for your comments and sharing your stories. You guys are amazing. I mean, you really, really are so inspirational. It's a privilege to read for you, and thank you all of you who give back through the super thanks in the comments and for sharing, liking, subscribing. It really helps to support the channel. Beautiful souls, I think this is a real sort of almost like a karmic shift that's going on for you. It's the letting go of stuff that has potentially lingered or held you back from this lifetime, from previous lifetimes, or from your genetic lineage. The messages are clear. Do check out my other readings, because if there's a past life one, it may be really, really helpful to you to have a quick check on that. Other than that, my beautiful souls, I post readings 2 or 3 times a week, these pick a card readings. So if you do want to get notification, if you subscribe and press the little bell icon, they should come into your stream as soon as I post. Also, if you're interested in my all zodiac sign readings, I actually do them to the moon month rather than the calendar month, and I post them on a different platform. There are no advertisements over there, which is lovely, and it works on donations. You can give as little or as much as you wish, and you can opt out at any time. There are no tie-ins whatsoever. I do tutorials over there as well, so if you're interested in those, do check them out as well. I'll put all the relevant links into the description box and the comments for phone users too in a pinned comment. My beautiful pile 3. It's time to shift this lens. This is what we're being shown here, because you deserve to have. You deserve to have. It's as simple as that. You deserve to have. Take a leap. Let your world spin you on your axis and love every second of it. Pile 3, tons of love. See you soon in another reading.